Coaches, one of my favorite all-time Star Wars quotes is your focus determines your reality. And in reality, if you don't have a focus in your practice, you're not going to be effective. Let me show you how to do it. Back to the 92 Mesh Group Chalk Talk series. This is Coach Colthup out of North Carolina, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about practice. I've mentioned this several times about how important practice is, and I'm starting in a new position, and we had an opportunity to start our summer practice day before yesterday. And as you watch people practice, you learn a lot about what they think is important, what they don't think is important. And so what I wanted to do is for especially for the younger guys, because I get a lot of DMs from young coaches wanting to understand some things. One of the things that I would tell you is this: always have a progression. You have to have a progression in your drill work, in the way your practice works. And I can't tell you how important it is. When I first started out, we did things in practice that I did as a player, and I really didn't understand, why we would run inside drill or why we were doing this, because it was just the way it always was. I went and got a practice schedule from someone and said, hey, this is what we're going to do because this is what everybody else does, and we never really looked at it as why do we do these things. And that's how the air raid changed me, because the way Coach Mummy and Coach Leach and Cliff Kingsbury and all these guys that run the air raid practice is so important, because everything builds upon itself. So if you think about it, if you start your practice off, with settle-in newts, what are you actually working on in settle-in newts? Well, you're working on your release. You can put a guy in front, you can foot fire, slap and release slowly. You're working on plant and turn. You're working on catch and tuck. And then you're working on going north and south. So you're getting a lot of stuff done in this one drill. And you're working on as the receivers are doing that and the running backs are doing that, the quarterbacks are working on fast feet. They're working on keeping their shoulders upright. They're working on getting loose. And you're doing all of these things at the same time. And so then, when you go to pat and go, what are you working on there? Well, you're working on individual routes. You're running hitches, you're running slants, you're running screens, you're running go routes. And so maybe if you don't have time to fit one-on-ones, if you're at a small school like I am, where you don't have a lot of guys that you can run reps with, or a lot of quarterbacks, and you don't want to throw your quarterback's arm out doing these kind of things. You get all that stuff done in pat and go, but you're doing that every day. So you're getting your route work in right there. And then you're going to, your routes on air. Your ROA. So if you go to routes on air, then you're working your specific play of the day. And this is really what I want to talk about today. Is it important to have a focus? I cannot stress how important it is to have a focus. And this is the most important reason why. And you're going to think, Coach, this is crazy. Well, most of us, unless we're one of the lucky ones, most of us are classroom teachers. So we're trained educators. We understand that people learn differently and things of this nature, and I'm actually a doctoral candidate. I'm doing a dissertation, and one of these days I'll finish it, but I'm doing a dissertation in curriculum and instruction. And so, we take a lot of these classes, but this is why you have to have focus. How many of our kids have ADHD? This attention deficit disorder. How many of our kids have limited short, attention spans? Our kids want this instant gratification. Think about this. If you're running inside run, okay? If you're running inside run, And just, we were doing this the other day. We were working on inside zone, and we were working on power. Okay, we were working on inside zone and we were working on power. Okay, at the same time. Now, those are two completely different schemes. So we spent the first little piece working on inside zone, and then the second little piece working on power. But in between those reps, we were having to coach up different aspects of the different types of plays, because you have a gap scheme and you have a zone scheme. How much more efficient would we be if we spent the entire day working on a zone scheme and then the next day working on a gap scheme? And hey, listen, we do it that way sometimes. Sometimes we don't. But I like to think of it like this. If you have a focus of the day, how much dead time are you going to have in practice? And this is why Coach Mummy's idea of how you structure practice. In your routes on air, you're running either shallows for a day or cross for a day or sail for a day. You're not going from here to here to here to here to here, because if you get stuck on one play, your time is going to run out and you may not get to play 2, 3, 4, and 5. So why not know that for 10 minutes straight, we're going to run inside zone. And we don't have to worry about coaching it up but one time, hopefully, but you're coaching up the same thing. And for 10 minutes, you're going to rep the mess out of inside zone. And then the next day, you're going to rep the mess out of power. And this is why we talk about keeping the installation schedule small. This is why you have not looked, and I'll put the link in the video. If you have not seen the 12 must-run plays in the air raid, watch that video. This is why you cannot have a playbook this big. Listen to Coach Mackey, listen to Coach Singleton, listen to Coach Maddox. They all talk about it. Simplify your playbook. I don't care if you're wing T, I don't care if you're power, I don't care if you're air raid, I don't care if you're run and shoot. All the guys who are really successful at this game are guys who do what they do and they do it well. And the only way that you can do what you do and do it well is to do a little bit, a lot. This is Coach Coltharp, just reminding you, hey, listen, check out 92meshgroup.com. We're working on some things, trying to get it together for you guys. I really appreciate your support. Like the video, comment down below. What are some of your favorite practice sessions? How do you guys practice? Do you have a focus day? What is your 3-day install? Let's talk about that a little bit, maybe in the next couple of days. Really excited for the launch next week of the Total Air Raid system. It's been really good. We're almost at 700 subscribers right now. If we can get to 1,000 subscribers by Sunday, by the end of Sunday night, if you follow me on Instagram at 92 Mesh Group, I'm going to be giving away this 53.3 beanie. And we love the 53.3 around here because the football field is 53.3 yards wide, and we want to cover every inch of it with the air raid. We're going to attack every spot. So you can have a 53.3 bucket hat. It's the only one in existence, and it can be yours if you follow me on Instagram and we hit 1,000 subscribers. But always remember, spin it to win.